Hello everybody and welcome back to Vintage Thursday. So today is the results day of the scrap or save video that we did early August. So in that video we asked the viewers to decide the future of our number 11 fertilizer spreader. Should we rob parts off of it to fix the 12 spreader that we've got, the trailed spreader, or should we restore this one? And YouTube viewers were going to make the decision, which you did fairly unanimously. I haven't actually counted the votes or the comments because you don't need to. You only need to read a few of them to kind of work out that almost, not entirely everybody, but well over 95%, I would guess, said we had to save it. Quite a common theme was copy the parts that we need, which are the metering unit in the bottom of the tank or the bottom of the hopper. The purpose for buying this, for those that haven't seen it, was because the metering unit is missing on another spreader we've got. I bought this with the hope that they were the same, and I could either use them as patterns to copy, or if this was no good because the hopper does have some rust in it, I could just use the parts and get rid of the rest. So I put the decision in your hands, the viewers' hands, and like I said, it was massively in favour of restoring it, which is good, which is kind of what I wanted to do anyway. And on a little bit of further investigation, the two parts in here, which is this, the red bit here, and the yellow, and the yellow part underneath it. Well, they're very similar and they work in the same way as the other spreader. They're not the same. I haven't checked dimensionally if they're the same, but I suspect they would. They may fit, they may not. But now what I can do, and with the help of a viewer that sent me pictures and dimensions of his 12 spreader, the parts, and with using some of these, because there was holes in there. The holes that regulate the flow are kind of, I think they're a bit of a diagonal, a bit of an odd sized shape. So my hope is I can take the dimensions from the photographs I've got and basically copy the whole pattern from these, and kind of see how they work together, and we can hopefully at the end of this little project we can have two spreaders that are complete. So there we are, that is a decision. It is going to be saved. Also, I said there would be a prize for a winning commenter. So that will be announced at the end, so stick around for that. So in the original video I asked for anybody with experience of either this type of machine or a type of, or another basically 1960s or 70s machine. A few people had used these or knew of these being used. I think we had a Teagle. Somebody had used a Teagle one, which is basically a single disc, basically the same design as this. But by far the most common competitor machine of the time was the Vicon Wagtail, and that's actually what was used here. That's what Dad had, one of those, back in the 70s. So I don't know, but I got a feeling they probably were the market leader. The amount of them that's around now compared to these, they were clearly very popular at the time. Another commenter said we should, once it's finished, once it's done up, we should check it for accuracy, because these single disc spreaders were known for spreading the vast majority of the fertilizer to one side of the disc. You can't drive up the center and have it equally out each side like you can on a Vicon. You have to drive taking into account the fact that it spreads the majority of it one side. And a commenter said, perhaps we should check it for accuracy, maybe even compare it to a different machine, which, maybe it's something to think about. It's something we may be able to do when it's sorted out. I'm not getting into the realms of spreading too much fertilizer with it because basically it's too expensive to go playing around with, and once this is all shiny I don't want to get it dirty, and because fertilizer is it's horrible corrosive stuff. So I will put a little bit through it if we can come up with a way of accurately measuring its spread pattern. You know, proper commercial modern spreaders, you can get trays for testing their pattern, you know, spread pattern. If we can come up with a way of doing that on the cheap, or for nothing, we'll have a go at that. But you know, that's something to think about for the future. So the major jobs that we know need sorting on this particular machine are the rust in the hopper. Basically that's all we're going to have to cut out, patched and repainted. There is a company around that can remanufacture these stickers. You know, because these are certainly good enough to take a copy from and get them reproduced. And this one on the front, that's most important really, because that tells you everything you need to know. And it's a nice thing to have still on this machine of this age. And the other major item of corrosion or area is this plate here. We can see it's plated, it's had a bit, it's clearly rusted away and had a bit more put on. So I dare say what we'll end up doing is making a whole new plate. But the tubular frame does largely seem to be reusable. There's a few bits of corrosion at the bottom. We may have to, once it's apart and clean, and you know, we'll have to make it up as we go along pretty much. We can tell we can tell at the minute the basic bits that need doing, but as always, once you get into something, you always find more and more that you weren't expecting. Another comment I noticed in the video that we only had part of the PTO shaft. He said, did I have the rest of it? And no, I haven't. The bit on the spreader half is the only bit I've got, so I do need to source the tractor half of a PTO shaft. So if anybody's got one of those lying about in the shed, stick a comment down below or send me an email or something, and we are looking for the front half of the PTO shaft. So at the end of the original Scrap or Save It video, I said we would do the competition to win a mug. I said that the results of the kind of the vote, I guess you would call it, would be announced in the first video of September, or the first Vintage Thursday of September. That didn't happen. Things got in the way. This was stuck in the back of the shed, couldn't get it out to record, and I just didn't have time to record it. So we're doing it now. Anyway, we have missed our deadline by a little bit, but it didn't affect the result. So the competition was to win one of our lovely Vintage Thursday mugs starring the 178 look. So we've just got the 178 hitched on to the 11 just because it was the easiest tractor to put on there. So I said we'd give away a Vintage Thursday mug free of charge, delivered to the winning commenter. And the winning commenter is Abby Jones, who said that we should save it. I'll read you the comment out. It says, "Restore it, Dan. It would be nice behind your 165." Which it would. It'd be just as nice on the 178, I would have thought, but no, it would suit the 165 very nicely. So there we go. Abby Jones, what you've got to do is email me. I will put my email down here, cowfarmerdan@gmail.com, or over on the Instagram page. If you do Instagram, you can send me a message on there. Somehow you need to get in touch. Send me your postal address, and a lovely mug will be zooming your way. I don't know how I'm going to make sure there's no fraudulent claims, but we'll work it out. That will do for the end of this video. I'm happy with the result that came out. I didn't want to scrap it, and like I said earlier on, a bit more investigation. They're not really, the bits I bought it for are not really compatible to move, so it just makes sense to keep it together. It's what the channel viewers wanted, and you know, pretty as far as I can tell, you all want to see it happen, which, you know, it's the whole point of this thing. Make some videos. It's not going to be, I try not to drag it out too long, so I'm not sure how I want to do it yet. I don't want to be like 10 parts, this 10-part series of restoring this, but equally I don't want the videos to get too long. Each video, I don't want to be getting like 35-40 minutes per video. Just try and keep it a bit short. So we'll do one of maybe restoring the hopper, a video of, you know, stripping it down, finding out what's wrong, a video of probably welding up the hopper, fixing the mainframe, making that plate. You know, that'll all be separate videos to keep it short, to the point. And then hopefully at the end we can have like a playlist. We may even start, this may even be kind of the second video in the playlist of building up over time of how we actually came to the finished result. And at the end, we will end up with a nice shiny restored spreader that we will use just a little bit, you know, just to see how it runs. But it won't be doing a great deal. So there we go. Right, so Abby Jones, don't forget, get hold of me somehow. Don't forget to like the video, you know, and all that. Do find me on Instagram, I just mentioned that. Go and have a look for that. And there should be a link down below for the Instagram page. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.